Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to this discussion, dating and marriage in the Black community. Now, I'd like to welcome my co-host, Carlens, who's here with us. You know what I mean?
You don't hear right now
Yes, and
somewhere.
he's gonna be facilitating with me this discussion. Now, we're gonna go back to a little bit of what you saw on the screen before. So, Carlens, if you can, just bring that status back up so that people be able to
Hold
see it.
on, right here.
Okay, here we go. And it says, no black man is loved correctly unless he has money. And as you can see, this has 11K shares, 136 comments, and 139 reactions. You have some likes, some laughs, and hearts. And so I'm gonna read this first comment here. It says, no, unless he has a job. No black woman is loved correctly unless she's cooking, cleaning, taking care of the kids. So it's definitely equal. You tell me what's a man without money? Nothing, because without money, you can't provide like how a man should for a woman that's giving you a nice home and a hot meal to eat and clean drawers. So I can't say this without saying vice versa.
Okay,
Well, go ahead. Go
go
ahead.
ahead. No, you go
Well,
ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
okay. Well, I would say she has a point to some extent. All right. So about to chime in right now, be a part of the conversation. Jordane, can you hear me? You LinkedIn? Okay, hold on. Yo, Jordane, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good, good, good. All right, so I'm gonna continue with what I was saying. All right, so this statement may be true to an extent, but it's like with men, I don't think we have any conditions with how we love women. Like, there's some men that automatically think that a woman should cook and clean for him and all this stuff. But here's the thing: if she's not your wife, why would you want her doing any of those things for you? Like, if you, like, in my opinion, if you haven't put a ring on it, it's like certain, how you would say, requests you can't really ask for, you
Right.
know, because it's kind of like, okay, so you want me to do all this, but what is it that you're doing? Are you providing it for me? Are you giving me money to go to school? You helping me pay my car note this month? These are things that don't come up until maybe 5, 6 months into the relationship. And it's like, if you had those expectations, it would have been cool if you told me from the beginning. But now at this point, it's like we're already in too deep. So now you want me to provide for you? And we've only been kicking it for 5 months. And for some people, you know, they'll think that 5 months is not nothing, but 5 months is a good amount of time to get to know somebody because you're already establishing a relationship. You've already taken the time to get to know that person. Is now it's like you're heavily invested,
Right.
even for just 5 months. 10 years is bad. If you with somebody for 10 years and you realize they have no type of value and no potential, or they don't help you become a better person, then honestly, there's no reason. Like, that's wasted time. Why would you waste 10 years with somebody? That doesn't make any sense. What exactly is it that you see in that person? And some people, they might stay in a relationship for financial reasons. Other people, it might be sexual favors, and so at the end of the day, you end up denying yourself of having somebody that really is able to love and cherish you and take care of you the way that you want, because you've gotten used to just getting the bare minimum or doing the bare minimum in a relationship. And the problem is that with issues like that are unresolved, if you carry that or drag that into the next relationship, the next man or woman is not going to have it. They're going to be like, okay, you played with this one, you're not going to play with me. Like, this is what's going down. Either you're with it or you're not. But Carlins,
Got it.
what's your thoughts on that?
Um, so I'll read it again. So no, unless he has a job. So stop right there. She's letting you know. She answered the question. Okay. So if you realize what she said, no black man is loved correctly unless he has money. No, unless he has a job. Okay. So
She
okay.
basically
So she
basically saying the same thing.
same thing, but okay. But actually, what she's doing is she's letting you know that she's letting you know like where she is in her status. Because there's no way that I'm gonna be like me. I'm an entrepreneur now, right? As well as I have a job, but I'm an entrepreneur. Do you think? Hold on. Turn this away. Do you think that me as an entrepreneur is gonna want somebody who wants to stay in a job? Or do you think as an entrepreneur, I'm gonna find somebody who's gonna sit there and be a quarterback to what I'm doing? So it becomes a difference of what are these women looking for in you. Now keep on moving. The Black woman is loved correctly unless she is cooking, cleaning, taking care of kids. So it's definitely equal. Pause.
Right.
Number one, as a man, I can find my own cook. I can cook my own meal.
Right.
The problem is that most men are not cooking their own meals or they haven't been taught. That was me. So I'm learning how to cook. Number two, cleaning. Now I know how to clean very well, but most women assume that men just want you to clean. No, a lot of men know how to clean their own stuff.
Right.
Right.
Now, when it comes to taking care of kids, I mean, women are nurturers. The baby came out of you, not
Right.
I. So you are the nurturer of the kids. It's sad, but like men get annoyed sometimes when they have to spend a certain amount of time with their kids because it's not natural for us. We're like, okay, this is not all about. For women, it's so natural to them that like they get mad at the fact that there's certain things that we can't do that they can do when it comes to kids. So when it comes to taking care of kids, of course you can take care of them. Men will take care of them too. But again, you telling me what's a man without money? She's telling you nothing, because without money, you can't provide what she's asking. She's not asking for love. Women don't care about that. They don't care about that most of the time. They tell you they do,
Right.
but if the bills ain't being paid, she's telling you if the bills ain't being paid, what love is there? If a woman doesn't feel protected, trusted, if she doesn't feel like that a man is providing for her, that woman will go and find somebody else who will. So that love doesn't exist. They're just throwing that out as a projection to you. Like, oh, I love men. No. Oh, a nice home and clean drawers. Yeah, but I tell you right now, if that man provides you a nice home, provides you clean drawers, but then at the end of the day, he's not treating you right, or let's say for instance, let's say for instance, his money is so large that he's going out there and he's cheating on everyone.
Right.
A woman will probably stay with him because she knows if she leaves, she's not going to get that status anymore. So she's going to sacrifice, like, all right, let me stay. But let that man lose all his money. They're going to be like 21 questions or 50 Cent. Would you love me or not? Like, hater, do you love me now that I lost my car? Oh, some women do, but not a lot. It's so small how many women actually stay with their men when they lose all this stuff. That's because they built together and they know, hey, this is the plan. We just going through a season. But a lot of other women, they're like, no, I'm telling you what I want, because it's innate in women. And it's innate in women to want a man with accomplishments. No woman wants a man without accomplishments. And that accomplishments includes your job. It includes, the money you make. It includes, the type of education or what knowledge you know. It includes, how you dress, how you look. So yeah, man, it's a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, and I just want to add on to that. Women will. There are some women that they want a man to be able to have a nice job and earn money, but then when he's working extra hours, now all of a sudden it's like, okay, you're making all this money, but now you're neglecting me. But I thought you wanted me to be at work. I thought you wanted me, to provide for you. Like,
because she didn't realize how much time you had to put in. They're living fantasy worlds. So women are living like these big fantasy worlds, thinking like, oh, I'm going to work, and they're thinking that jobs are what's going to to survive for them. So it depends on the type of man you are, that the woman's going to be like, yeah, well, Mr. Howard Stewart's in the building.
Yes, sir. Howard, what's up, man? Good to see you, my brother.
What's up?
Not much, man. Just chilling, man. Just chilling.
At work.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, the discussion tonight that we're having is dating and marriage in the Black community. And one of the not a question, but more so a quote, right? And let me see. All right, so Carlens got it up. Let me read it. And it says, no Black man is loved correctly unless he has money. Do you believe that that's true? And have you seen examples of this within the Black community? Hello, Howard. Mr. Stewart. Okay. I think his mic is off. But Jordane, have you seen this narrative? Is this true?
I would say it's like a case by case thing, because
No.
like you were saying earlier, there are some women that do like that. Kind of how they were raised up is like the man is like he's the breadwinner. He's the one that brings home the bacon. So they kind of mindset where like if you're not able to provide the bare necessities that a man, quote unquote, should provide, then if you don't do that, then you're pretty much there's no worth in you. There's like why am I staying with you? Why am I in this relationship with you if you're not bringing anything to the table?
Exactly.
Right.
But as far as like responsibilities, I feel like that's something that you should have a conversation with your significant other about. That's something that y'all need to sit down and discuss, because I don't really like seeing those posts where like a man, like no woman should pay bills, or like, we'll do 50-50. Like everybody's different. Everybody's different. So what you value in your relationship is something you should talk with your spouse about. And then y'all come to that common ground and be like, all right, this is what we're going to do.
Exactly. And that makes sense. Howard, I know you got disconnected earlier, but I wanted to ask you a question. Do you all right, so I'm gonna read this quote, right? And the quote says, let me go back to this on my page. No Black man is loved correctly unless he has money. Do you believe that this is true?
No.
Why not? And tell me why.
I guess, like you said, because when a person gets married, whatever, and the passcode until death do us part.
Right.
Remember, we sharing our life together, 50-50. We gotta. I know most females and guys. Oh, I don't want you to work. You're gonna make more money than me, or you're gonna make less than me. It's supposed to be equal. Right. If I can't come up with the bill this month, I'm able to come up with the net. You cover it. And so it could be equal. You don't have to be specific. Or I know some people have separate accounts. It's like if the husband now said to the wife, "Oh, I got a link to my account saying you bought a $100 boots." Right. So you're able to tell me, say, "Hun, and I took $100 out of our savings to buy a boots that I really needed." Right. You understand what I'm saying?
And that's a wonderful thing that you said, because the thing is, in most relationships, right, you don't hear of couples having joint accounts, right? And sometimes you did? Oh, okay. Well, you probably one of the few. And the thing is that if you do have a joint account, it's always best to have a separate account as well. And some people probably think that it's selfish to have a separate account, but the thing is, if you need to pull certain things out, if you need a certain amount of money, and if you go and touch that joint account, that there's gonna be an issue. That's why you have your stuff. It's not like you're hiding anything. Some people think it's crazy, like, yo, if you're married, you should have your money combined together. Yes, that's cool, but you also need your own bread, so that when you need to go and do things, you can handle.
I think for that whole joint, sorry to cut you off. I think for that whole joint account thing, like, like I say it, you would have a joint account if you had like, trying to get a house, or like, something like trying to establish something. But like, you should have your own access to your own money. Like, suppose you want to go do something, you should be able to go do it with no excuse, really.
Exactly.
And yep, you're right.
Then I got one thing to say, Carlens. Like, the funny thing about it is that, let's say you have a joint account, right? Now, let's say you only deposited $200 for this month, and let's say wifey has like $5,000 or whatever that she put in. Now you want to go and get something, pull some out of that money. She might be like, "Hold on, wait a minute. You only put a small amount in there. Like, I put X amount, into the account? Why do you think that you should have access to some of my bread? And
because even though it's a joint account, it's not joint money.
Thank you.
Even though it's a joint account, it's not joint money because women care about money.
Exactly.
They care about. Listen, women care about, like, we could talk about what we want to see that women do. We could talk about like what we want to see, how relationships work, and then there's how they work,
Right.
what it is. Every woman is looking for a man to support and to provide, to give them financial stability. They want all of that. When you give her that and then she trusts you, then she's able now to say, oh, well, you know, we're going to do this together, we're going to do that together, because she feels that trust. So
Right.
that's when you can have those marriages that last long. We can be like, hey, you know, I'm about doing this and you're about doing that. Majority of relationships now don't work that way because, say it again?
He wanted you to repeat it, what you were saying.
Which part?
I think the last part. Oh, the first part you said. When you started talking, because he wasn't able to catch it.
Oh, there's a difference of what we want or what we see as men of relationships and what relationships really look like. So when you look back at the question, do women care about money? Like, do they care about a black man without money? The answer is no, they don't. They don't care about you if you don't have money. And what I mean by that is, it depends on the type of woman that you're even dealing with, because there are different levels. So if you're talking about a man who's established and has money, he's going to move differently from a man who doesn't have that much money. Because the man who has money, he has options. So he gets to choose from which girl he wants to pick from. But a man who doesn't have that much money, he becomes the option. And now women who are now above him are like, oh, well, I get to choose and I get to pick. And now he's sitting there, you know, oh, you ain't got no money, I don't want you. Oh, you ain't got no money, I don't want you. And that's where that question has to keep coming up, because
some
huh?
Some people that I know, it's not about the money they want.
Yeah, see, I was gonna say that.
Most females, I can know, because I know some people that they want the relationship just to be loved and to be treated love-wise.
How old are they?
The money, they said, the scripture said the money of all money is evil. So
the love of money is the root of evil. We teach that wrong.
The love of money. So let me say, it's not about the money, because I could go broke one of these days. We could go broke for one of these days and don't get back on our feet. Sometimes when the men get broke, is the female has to take the lead and support that one. So most times.
But now the question becomes, how old are these women who now realize that they want love instead of wanting the finances? Because if you ask a certain woman at a certain women at a certain age tells you what they want.
Like
a woman at 21, 22, she's not going to sit there and say, hey, I want to get married, I want a man. She's going to say, I want somebody who's going to provide for me, who's going to take care of me. But at 21, she's not going to say she wants to get married. Where at 30, 35, when she can't find no man, she's going to sit there and be like, you know, I want to find somebody who's going to love me, who's going to care for me. But at the end of the day, those women still, when now you come in with that, let's say you come in with love, because they set themselves up. You come in with love because you're a man who loves. And let's say you don't have a car. So you come with love, and now you go and you meet her at the store, and she's like, all right, we leaving. And, oh, I got to go catch the MARTA bus. She's going to be like, what? What do you mean? Like, I thought you came in your car, not in the cover of my car. That probably will be your last date. But if you've been with someone over time, that's stuff that's built. So that's different from women who look at men now and say, if you ain't got no money, I don't want to talk to you, as opposed to if we built and we had money for a while and then I turned broke, would you stay with me or not?
I give you an experience what I went through. There was this girl in Jamaica that I thought she would have been the wifey, but when I come to tell, she just wanted the money, so I had to let that go.
Right, because you know why? Because you notice, because men look at character. Men look at women's character. So you looked at her character and saw, oh snap, she's all about this, I can't do that. Different from a woman who who you know that at the end of the day, like if you had all the money in the world, you telling me that the woman of your dreams, you wouldn't give her the house she wants, the car she wants, the clothes she wants. You give her everything she wants. But that's for the woman who has that character.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we don't find that woman with the character.
I didn't look at the character. I just look at the way how I'm saying. We just started married, yeah. We were just talking. Oh, I need this right now. I need this.
She's showing you her character.
And
she
then
showed you it.
I even brought her a pocketbook and I brought it down to Jamaica and give it to her. And then from that, I didn't feel, I didn't get no good appreciation. Sometimes you need to get some appreciation on what you're doing. If I take you out to dinner, you say, "Hon, I appreciate what you're doing, whatever. At least show some respect back. That as a man, I want some respect. If I give you respect,
true.
I want to get that respect back. And then there was another one that I was talking with. I bought a ring. The first time I bought the same girl I had a ring and everything. The ring turned to green. The ring got rusted. And I had another girl that I bought a ring for that was waiting. She ended up giving me back the ring because it didn't work out. And she went to go marry to somebody now and got pregnant. So like sometimes, like I said, some relationships, it doesn't last long because you're in the wrong relationship. I see people, they end up in the wrong relationship and they end up getting divorced or separated. And
but
some
here's
of
the
them
question. Why are they in the wrong relationships?
Because why they want wrong relationship? Because they know from day one what they're getting into. They're supposed to know what kind of person that is. If I'm a person that that is irritated, ignore on certain things, like I don't want to come and see no dirty dishes, and I'm saying you're able to come see a clean house, or if I know your person don't keep clean, I'm not gonna be with you.
Right, got it.
It goes back to what you were saying about the character of that woman. So I wouldn't necessarily say all women. I just say it's just the ones with that certain type of character that show you that characteristic, or like that's what they're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of where we can kind of base that. It's just the character.
Right. So like when you look at what men want and what women want, what we want in a woman, right, is we want a woman with character. I want to know if this woman is going to take care of my kids. If something hit the fan, she's going to make sure everything is good, she's safe. What women want from us in return is they want stability, they want protection, they want that. So
they want some good
we
love
can come
too.
with love all we want to. And the sad part is that they don't care. So like look at Superman, look at Lois Lane.
Mm-hmm.
Superman is God, right? Best thing in the world. And then there's Clark Kent. Nobody pays mind to Clark Kent. Everybody pays mind to Superman. Now, mind you, most women want us to be Superman, but they forget about our Clark Kent.
Yeah.
That was deep.
So again, so when you look at Superman got the protection. He got he can get the finances. He can just rob a bank all he wants to. People just gonna give him money if he wants to. He has all of that for him. Now look at Lois. Lois can't do shit for nobody. She is a reporter. She has no superpowers. Wonder Woman comes, Superman ain't going for her. Wonder Girl comes, he ain't going for her. Why? Because he goes for Lois's character.
Yeah.
So even in the movies, they're showing us men love character because guess what? When Superman feels like he can't be Superman no more, Lois sits there and says some stuff. Oh, baby, you got it. You're the best thing on earth. And guess what? It's like spinach. He's up and he's flying. But we, on the other hand, we look for the character. They're looking for, like let's say, for instance, Superman lost his powers. The question would be, would Lois still be there? That'd be a question, but it's based off of they loved or whatever. But that's like a scenario that you could look at. Look at the fact that there's women look at us up here, while then they don't see our Clark Kent, or that we can become Superman. They just see Superman as soon as they see us and like, oh, he got this. And then their expectation is now bursted when they realize who we are. But at the end, we are trying to find out who you are from the time we talk to you. I'm looking at your Instagram. I'm looking at your Facebook. I'm scrolling through your stories because I'm trying to figure out your character because you got to represent me at the end of the day.
Like a thought just came in my thought what they said. Hell have no fury of a woman's scorners. That's what they call it again.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So they're trying to say most people say female they have the power. They most have the power, and saying how that's if I'm walking down the street and a good girl passed me, I'm gonna look. It's not like I'm not cheating. It passed your eyesight, so you're gonna look. But some females take it, oh, you cheating on me, oh, go be with that B, go be with that.
Because women are in denial of what men want. They don't know what we want as men, and then we're in denial because we're like, no, we don't want that. Let's be real with each other, guys. Men are very visual. We want somebody who is very attractive to us. So at the end of the day, if you're working with your girl and she dressing like Lollapalooza, and then you see some next chicks that look like Megan Thee Stallion walking down, you want to go look. The thing is that she has to be okay. The woman has to be okay with within herself saying, oh, he's just looking, but he's not talking. If a man goes and now he's literally trying to get the girl's number, winking and doing some eye contact, yo, babe, go over there and I'll meet you right back. And he's going to go talk to the girl. Then the female can get mad. Then she can get upset. But how did he get you? What, he was walking blind? Just, did he hear your voice and say, oh my God, I'm going to fall in love with her? No. A man sees a woman first. Ah, man. When he sees her first, that's entry number one. Number two is what you say at your mouth. If what you say at your mouth is suitable to who we are, all right, cool. Next step. But men have to know what they want, and women don't. Women think, oh, I know what men want. No, you don't. Women need to know what men want. Men see visual. Some men act like, oh, no, we don't. You know, the eyes and the eyes and the beauty of the beholder. No, because that's the reason why a lot of women right now in the gym, a lot of men in the gym working out at certain ages. We're not talking about younger. We're talking about older now. Why? Because they're realizing I need to attract a certain type of guy. I need to attract a certain type of guy. It's real. All right, you came back. So, I was trying to keep everybody entertained.
No, because the other day I had a customer came in, a girl came in, she was buying stuff, and then her boy just pulled up. Because he said that he saw her with another guy. But, like, he was so tight. Like, he said he was ready to fight.
But here's why. Because, again, we care. It's when a woman cheats on us, we are hurt because we trusted her character. Her character. So we're like, damn, girl, like, I literally let go of my nature as a man. As a man, I'm supposed to be with multiple women. And I let that go for you, and I stopped there for you, and you gonna go do that to me? That's crazy. Go ahead.
I wish we had females on the line so we can hear their point of view.
There is one. Lala, she's on here. I don't know if she's gonna talk though.
I need to hear a female point of view, what they like expect to have in a man.
But then again, you use the word expect.
Yeah.
Expectations kill relationships because what a woman expects from you is different from who you are as a man.
I could change from it.
Huh?
If for instance, how that's if they said we're gonna start eating fish in the household, I'm not gonna argue. I'm gonna do what I gotta do. I'm not gonna argue.
But that's you as a man. Women are different. That's you as a
Huh?
man. Women are different. Women have timelines for us.
Timeline, but we go both. It can go both ways.
I mean, it can, but then again, that's it. That's certain women. That's not all. If you have a house with a female, and let's say, for instance, you and that female is building that house, and the house is supposed to be built in 2 years, and in a year and a half already, it's not even started to get done. You think she's really gonna stay with you once it's supposed to be done?
Yes,
Some women, no. Some women won't. Some women have a timeline. Yo, bro, you said you was gonna do this months ago. The reason why a lot of women don't do it and they stay in these relationships and then leave is because we're too scared to tell people, hey, listen, you're not for me anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why everybody's wasting that whole time thing. Like, oh, you know, I didn't want to hurt your feelings. You hear those conversations. I didn't want to hurt your feelings. But how long did you know that for? Oh, 6 months. Oh, my God. You've been wasting 6 months. I didn't want to hurt your feelings. And, you know, I thought we don't have conversations anymore.
That's why
if we
they
have
said
conversations, then we'd be good. But people are lying to each other. Women are lying to men. Men are lying to women. And if we are both real with each other, relationships move forward.
Absolutely right.
Yeah, I
Hey,
agree.
Lala.
Hey, sorry, my phone was acting up at first, and I'm holding a little kids party in here for trolls, so I had to like find somewhere quiet to go.
hey, your point of view.
So Lala, so the conversation started like this. It says there is a quote that was online that said, hold on, let me get it back. Okay, it says, no black man is loved correctly unless he has money.
Absolutely not. Every nigga I love been broke. I've been taken care of. So that's not true at all.
So then here's the next thing. Ready?
I'm listening.
Every dude that you've been with, you took care of. Are you with them?
No, but some of it's been because of me and some of it's been because of them.
Okay, now because of you, why?
So like the first guy that I was with, I kind of like with during college, whatever, and we were together and I joined the Navy, and obviously like, you know, I started doing more, seeing more, and he just wasn't with it. So he didn't want to move, he didn't want to do anything. He was just, you know, happy with his little 9 to 5 and it wasn't even like a good 9 to 5, it was just basic minimum wage. So I was like, okay, well, I gotta go here. So we broke up. And then it's like, I feel like my most recent situation didn't work because he was like really intimidated by my success. Like legit intimidated, where I mean like we were getting fights over my money.
Right, you know why? Because you are where he's. A man should never live underneath or with a woman. If a man is established and the woman comes to him, different story, because she feels protected. This is what you're supposed to do, homie. But when a man lives underneath a woman, after a while, resentment builds up, anger builds up. Homie, what the fuck you doing? After a while, the things that he's supposed to be doing, that ain't happening no more. Then he's gonna get resentful because guess what? You are doing what you are what he's supposed to be. And if you feel and then he's gonna feel like, oh, you're holding that against me. Men feel that like, oh, she can kick me out whenever she wants to.
Right, and that's exactly how he felt, and I never presented that energy at all because like I'm just not that kind of person. But that's literally what it ended up becoming, where it'd be like I'd be like, oh, let's see, oh, I'm sorry that you balling, and I'd be like, whoa, what? I just said I was gonna pay the light bill today. Okay, like it just became really petty. So like I went out of town and I actually went to New York to pick up my daughter, and I came back and he had moved out all his stuff out the house, and I was like, damn, what I do? And he was just like, nah, I just need some space. I was like, all right.
Because what he's doing is, you don't have to say anything to him. He's realizing as a man that he's not there. After a while, he's realizing, yo, this is my mom, and I don't want to be in a relationship anymore with my mom. You know what I'm saying? So that's why in certain cases you have situations where men act up like that. Like, nah, you know what? Nah, I'm out. Like, oh, you bowling and stuff. Ooh, what are you doing? Like, that's her taking care of him. But then again, you are taking care of him. So all the guys, even though you love them and they were broke, you're still not with them. And that's the whole point in case. The point in case is that a woman wants somebody who's going to provide and protect her. So a woman's going to literally love a man who buys her the house. You can love a man who's broke, but you ain't never gonna love that man like that man who buys you that house, or the man that buys you that car, that man that pays, your whole college bill or whatever. You're gonna be like, ooh, this is a little different. I'm moving a little different now. Like this guy,
right?
Mind you, when a man does that, he's investing in you. So any man that you were with before, they didn't invest nothing in you. You were investing in them, and you're like, wait, hold on. It feels like I'm taking care of another person. And after a while, you get frustrated as a woman. You know what I'm saying? Like me right now, I'm divorced. So I'm recently divorced. So I moved out of my house. So in moving out the house, I was like, okay, I want my kids to stay there, so I'm out. So I ended up where I'm living with a friend right now. Before I had my own apartment until like a whole bunch of crazy stuff happened. And a female that I was talking to was like, oh, well, you can stay with me. No, one time she said, oh, well, if you ever stay with me, I get real annoying. And I said, whoa, stop. I said, I'd rather sleep in my motherfucking car. And I had to say it like that for her to get it. I'd rather sleep in my motherfucking car than to sleep in your house until I got my own stuff. And she was like, okay, I can respect that as a man. Because then she knew in her head, I'm not taking care of no nigga. I had to hear women say that over and over again. I ain't taking care of nobody.
Right.
But when you have nothing to offer, like right now, there's a lot of men who have nothing to offer, but then they want relationships.
Right.
So you hear the women talk about, well, you ain't got you ain't. But then here's the flip side. You have a lot of women who ain't got nothing, who have shitty ass characters, talking about, oh, I want a man who's gonna help me and who's gonna take care of me. Men look at character. Women look at what you got. So when we understand these two things, we'll have a better definition. Like, oh, okay, a woman wants me to have a nice house. All right, cool. Well, if I ain't got a house, all right, let me get a nice car so that when I'm driving around, at least other people see me. Oh, I need to have this, and that. If you don't have it, women are looking at you like, yo, bro, you ain't getting nobody. And when men are going around like, how come ain't nobody liking me? Or women going around, how come ain't nobody liking me? It's because you do not know what the opposite sex want. You assume you know what they want because you want something. That's different from the people that's going to like you back. So people have to be very careful in doing that. Like when a woman lives with a man, that man is investing in you. So it's not like he's on some like, all right, I'm going to kick you out tomorrow. That's on some women stuff. Most of the time women do that like, oh, you know what? I don't need you. Get out of here. Bye. And that's how men feel like that because we feel like we can get kicked out any day. That's some scary stuff. That's some real scary stuff when a man feels like he can get kicked out of a house or the tables turn in a relationship really bad. Not to say that I did it, but I know it because I've seen it in a couple of relationships. I've talked to people, I've read books about it, seen seminars, like it gets crazy. Crazy. It's my spiel. Anybody else?
G, I can't hear you.
Me neither. I can see his mic, but I can't hear him.
I can see him talking, but I can't hear him.
I know he unmuted himself. Let me see. Disable. No, I see all of y'all.
Mm-hmm. He doesn't have his mic muted.
Well, as he's doing that. You see, like Kiki was a perfect example. You know what I'm saying? Well, she said, yeah, I love all them dudes and they were broke. But here's the real factual question.
You guys can hear me now?
Are they there? Yeah, well, muffled, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so what I wanted to say was, right, a long time ago, a couple months ago, I saw a post online where, and I'm not sure if this is real or if it's fictional, but basically, this woman made more than her husband / boyfriend. And you know what she did? She decided to go leave her job, a high paying job where she was making X amount of money per year, decided to get a lowly paying job just so that he could feel better about his ego. If that ain't some weak stuff, I don't know what is. And when I saw it, I just thought it was so sad. It's like, yo, the fact that your woman is making more money than you should at least motivate you to want to get up to a level or be where she's at. Because if you're not and you're mediocre and you're just settling for life, what is it that you're really doing? You can't blame
What was
him.
he doing?
That's the thing. I don't know. It looked like, to me, in reading the post, it looked like he didn't apply himself. If she's making X amount of money per year, like let's throw out a figure. Let's throw out 95,000 per year, whatever. Even though that's probably a weird figure, but I'm just throwing that out there. You know, and dude is only barely making scraps. He's probably working a regular 9-to-5 job, and she probably has a master's or a PhD, and she's doing her thing like she's working in a field. But he's just settling. Might work for Pizza Hut or Dunkin' Donuts. Is like he's not applying himself. But how do you end up in a relationship with somebody like that, and then you get to this level, and now they're becoming jealous of you? But they shouldn't be jealous. It's like
they chose this life. They chose you. They knew what you were about. You know,
Expectations. She was gonna eventually expect him to move up.
right?
But guess what? Whatever amount of money she was fucking him with when she started, that's gonna be his equal. So if he was fucking me on $10, when I had $10, you gonna say it. You can't expect me now to fuck you on 1,000.
We
You
talked
can't
about
do
this
it.
earlier. I remember.
Yes, you can't do it. You can't do it. So if I'm sitting there working at McDonald's and now you sitting there and now we go and we fuck, and then now all of a sudden we get in a relationship, you're like, oh, well, I expect you to be more. Boo-boo, I got the boom boom on $10. You know what I'm
Yo,
saying?
I
Like,
tell my homegirls this shit all the time. I have a homegirl in my living room right now that's going through like crazy marriage issues because she
tell
wants
her
her
to
husband
listen.
to do so much shit. And I'd be like, sis, you married him as a bum. You was happy with that. He got everything. He got 3 kids out of you. He got everything he wanted, his legacy, everything. What the fuck he want to do more for now when he done got all of this out of you? He good.
But now the question is, what is she doing?
Exactly.
So the question, here's what the question becomes. He got all this, like, what is now she doing? Because if they're both unhappy and they're not having a conversation, well, it's if he's a bum and he's been a bum,
but they're
then
both
that's
bums. They're
because,
like literally like just coexisting at this point with each other. So I just shut the fuck up.
Wow.
Okay, so
I'm being honest with you. Like, I try to get her a better job because, like, we're technicians in the military. She got out the military, so I'm like, sis, I know 3 companies that'll hire you off gate for $75,000. She was like, oh, I really don't want to do that kind of work right now. Bitch, you gonna sit behind a desk and tell somebody else to do the work. You're not gonna do the work. You gonna be the supervisor.
I'm telling you this right
like,
now.
No.
If I met her and that's the first thing she said to me, we're not talking past that. Because if I'm on some business stuff and you just, oh, I'm okay where I'm at. I don't want to do all that. That shows me your character.
Right.
It shows me where you are and what you're about. So if he's now seeing her character, like, oh, this is who you are, this is who you always been. Because mind you, again, we got to remember, men go for character, women go for other stuff. Oh, he wasn't like this before. Yes, he wasn't. He was always like this. You didn't see the bum in him. You saw the Superman in him. You didn't see the Clark Kent.
Yo.
So now all of a sudden you see Clark Kent. Now you mad. But the whole time he saw your Lois Lane, the whole time he saw your character. He still told to stay with you. Because he saw past that, like, oh, she could be this, she could do this, she could do that. But then when women get upset, women start changing. It's called emotional detachment. And when that shit happens, ooh, buddy, bro, run. Just run, because she don't care. You can die, she don't care. You can blow up, she don't care.
Amen.
Hit by a car, she don't care. She don't care.
Real.
She don't care. She don't care.
That's how I am with my ex-husband. That's when I knew I had to walk away from the marriage.
That's how me and my ex are right now. She don't care. I got into a car accident. I walked in the house because my friend dropped me off. She is laying in the bed looking at me. Are you okay? Yep. All right. That's when I realized, oh shit. Oh man, I gotta fix. Because again, it goes, men love harder than women. When women are emotionally detached, men are still going through that, like, I'm trying to break to love you type thing, because we're building that character. Again, if y'all don't feel protected, if y'all don't feel that, you know, he's providing for you like he's supposed to, your natural innate self comes out. Love goes out the window. Fuck that love shit. Love don't pay bills.
Exactly.
Right.
Love don't do this. Love don't do this. That's why it's so hard. That's why when I hear women say, oh, I want a man to love me. Shut up. Shut up.
But it's true. We do be wanting love sometimes. But I did learn.
Our love, let me say what our love is. Our love is that house.
Right.
Our love is that car.
And I did learn that. So now when I date, I ask like straight up front, like, yo, this is how much I make. This is what my goals are. This is the degree I'm working on. This is where I plan to see myself in 5 years. What about you? Right. If they don't say something that's lining up.
But now watch this.
You like, thank you for the
application. It depends on which man you're talking to. It depends on which man you're talking to, because if you know you're talking to a man that ain't got nothing, he's gonna feel intimidated. But if you're talking to a man who's like 6 figures and more, that to him, it's not gonna be intimidating. It's gonna be on some, she might be wanting to play some dick games here with me. See whose dick is bigger. Because men want to take care of you. So men don't care about your car. Men don't care about your degrees. We don't care about your house. We don't care about none of that. We really don't care. We don't care. I got my new car and I got my new house. It looks nice that other women are liking it. You rarely see men really liking it. Once in a blue moon, You might see those men who want that pussy like, oh, congratulations, it's so cool.
Hey,
But
let me.
men,
I'll call you
but
back.
men gonna be like,
In the middle of something.
it don't matter to
Yeah,
me
that's
because
fine.
I'm gonna put you in this house. I'm gonna give you that car. So it goes back to the level, and right now it's like we're looking at this economy. We don't even know if we knew the numbers. Let me give you the numbers, and let me give you the numbers of like reality. Out of 100% of the wealth in America, white people own 94. 94. So whatever number you want to pick, let's just pick a trillion. They own 94% of that $1 trillion. Out of that, then 2.2% of that is black people, which means that 3 or 4% is Asian, Chinese, and everybody else. Out of that 2.2%, that 2% is the people who have over $350,000 in liquid. That's only about maybe 200,000 black people that have liquid, like you can sell your house liquid. Then that 0.2%, that's the rest of us. That's the rest of us. So when a woman's like, oh, I want a man who's gonna, who has X, Y, and Z, if you don't know the numbers, you won't understand why you won't find those men. Until you find one that wants to build and be in that 2%. Like I'm gonna be in that 2%. You understand? So when you find a man that's gonna be in the 2%, then you're gonna be like, oh, okay. But until then, those 2% are all the celebrities you see outside, all the rappers, and that's why you keep on seeing them in rotation, because they're the only guys who are out there making that type of money. Billionaires here and there, but they already got their wives, they already got their stuff going on. The rest of the guys that you see, we're all trying to scrap. In 2018, 45% of black men did not work in America, and not by choice. Not by choice. So when women are like, oh, you need to go find a job. Ooh, I've been going everywhere, but if the black man don't own the job, how am I getting it? Well, mind you, women can now get jobs with no degree. You can get jobs with no degree and surpass a black man. And we have to learn. We have to understand the dynamic and what we're dealing with. We don't talk about that.
Question.
Yeah.
Hold on. Okay. Where is that coming? Hold on.
That's Howard. He's in the store.
Oh, my fault. Okay, I muted it now. And still hearing the background noise. So I don't know who that might be coming from.
And that's somebody else.
Is it me?
It stopped now.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it was Howard.
Okay, no, because I muted him, so But Jordane, do you have any thoughts on what Carlens just said? What do you want to add to it?
I'm just listening at this point. I'm just taking everything in. I don't have anything as of yet to say. Not right now.
Okay.
That's what's up.
Well, I had a point that I wanted to bring up earlier, right? Now, Carlens had mentioned something about Superman, right? And Lois Lane. And what would happen if Superman lost his powers? Would he still be wanted, right? Now, there's a movie that Tyler Perry came out with I believe it's Ed Harris.
Acrimony?
No.
Actor.
No. Nah, this one is with Ed Harris and Kimberly Elise. It came out, I think, 2004. Basically, you know what movie I'm talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so basically Charles had this nice life. He was a lawyer, you know what I mean? And his wife was faithful. Then after that, she found out that he was cheating on her, and he started chilling with this other woman. After he got shot and ended up at the hospital.
Oh, stop blowing those bubbles, Char. Oh, yeah.
After that happened, right? The funny part is that once she started taking care of Charles, she's like, Charles, she left. She cleaned out your bank accounts. She took all the kids, and you left her for me. And then she said, if you weren't messing around with those whores, we could have had children. So you see, once Charles became paralyzed and couldn't do anything for himself, Shorty bounced with the 2 kids that he had through this extramarital affair, and he ended up having nobody at the end of the day. He ended up, his wife was like, yo, I want a divorce. And look at what he ended up with. Came for the rest of his life. And it's like he didn't end up with either woman. And the woman that he thought was good for him, she was only in the relationship to get bread. She already got 2 kids out of him. And she got what she wanted. So it's like sometimes the grass is not always greener on the other side. Like, you know, you'll hear stories about dudes that will leave their wives because, oh, like she got cancer or something. Like there was a situation with John McCain where he had left his first wife and she got into some horrible accident. I don't know if it was a car accident or whatever it was, but he ended up leaving her because of that. And I looked at that as him being superficial. I guess it was her looks that he was attracted to. Because how do you go stay married to somebody, they end up in an accident, and then after a while you're like, yo, I'm out.
Because here's
The
why.
physical.
He has to, at one point in time, you as a person, like when you start realizing you and you realize what you really want, there are certain things that you might not be like, You got to understand, John McCain, it wasn't just no regular guy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
even if his wife left, he knew I can get another woman. So, hey, this is what's going on. I still got to go do me. Imagine if he wasn't John McCain like John McCain. He would have been right there with her because there's nobody else that he can go to. It becomes options. When men have options, we can go from here to there because somebody else is always going to be there. But if you don't have one, that's when it becomes hard. Like, like when men reach a status with money,
Right.
that's why it's harder to deal with women because we're scared. Oh, is she really with me for my money or whatever? That's why men would rather build with the woman from jump and then come up like, oh, you see me when I was low. You see me when I had nothing. All right, you're gonna get all this, as opposed to women now jumping, oh, come on, come here, come get me. It doesn't, it's, yeah.
And the funny thing, right? And you saying that, right? I started to think about Mr. Clinton. Now, even before his presidency, this dude was cheating on Hillary like it was nothing. Jennifer
Yes.
Flowers and a couple other chicks. I mean, he had the charisma. That's why all these chicks gravitated towards him. And then when the scandal happened with Monica Lewinsky, at this point, right, you got to understand, he's still the president of the United States. And Hillary could have been like, at that point, she could have left him. She could have left him in the early 90s when she found out that he was cheating.
You know why she didn't leave? Status.
That's right.
Yeah.
You know why he did it? Look at her. She would never have been a president. Michelle Obama, yes. Hillary, hell no. Look at how she dresses, how she looks. Of course he's gonna cheat on her. It's for them. It was a power move.
Of course.
For them, it was a power move. So that's why he could cheat or do whatever. She's still there. Like, okay, I'm cool, because she knew what happens if I leave Bill Clinton. I'm done. Ain't nobody coming for me by myself. Done. Like, smart women think like that because they know. That's why I'm saying, like, black men and white men are totally different, because even though we have high status, we'll stay with that one woman. White men, when they have that high status, we can leave at a drop of a dime, boo. See you later. Deuce. Because they're more instinct and they're more innate. We are more like, okay, I do have to love this woman. It's kind of superficial if this thing would happen, but you got to go flip it. A lot of women would leave if you got into a bad burning car accident, your dick didn't work no more. You know what? I'm so sorry, but I really got to go. I really can't stay, because after a while she's gonna look at her needs and she's gonna be like, well, I need something too.
Right.
So for some people, there's that thing that's called love, or those actions that people look past and beyond the physical.
Right.
Many of us cannot look past that, because when some people, when they do, it's kind of like, oh, I really can't find anybody else, right? So some people are settling when they do that. Others, that's why there's a post that said, many men are single because the character they are looking for is not in the right body.
Exactly.
A female posted that. She said it. I definitely agree. But that's why you have women who are in the gym now. What are they doing? In the gym, working out. Doing what? Getting flat bellies. Everybody's getting waist trainers. You know what I'm saying? Because they know, okay, this is what men want. Vice versa. Men doing the same thing because we know what men want. Men are not finding the right character in the bodies. So what they're doing, some of them will settle. We'll settle for a female that we know. I've done this before. I've settled for females that I know that I'm like, yo, this ain't really a bad chick, but it's like, you know what? I'm kind of done right now with this whole thing. And then when you kind of wake up, you're like, no, I've had some bad chicks. No, we're not doing that.
Right.
So it becomes, you looking at yourself and saying, what would you want? A woman who has great character, he'll stay with her if something's wrong, if something happens to her. If she doesn't have great character, best to believe, yo, deuce, goose.
Exactly.
If you're dying or if you're about to die, deuce, goose. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I want to hear what Lala has to say on this subject.
Lala. I don't know. Like, ooh, that's a tough one. I'm trying to think. Like, I'm keeping up, but like, I don't know. Because I feel like you said, I feel like some people settle and then some people just get comfortable. Like, because, like, for instance, I stayed in my marriage for years knowing that nigga was cheating. Like, for years. But I was so comfortable and content with, like, the status of my life. Like, I had this big-ass 6-bedroom house. I had my kids. I had my job. I had my career. And I knew that if I was single, I wouldn't be able to manage my career the way I could as being married. So, like, I kind of just was like, all right, well, I'm not, like, I honestly got to the point where I was like, let that nigga cheat in peace. Like, I would catch him in the
right,
okay.
but listen though, you'll still keep the house though. Like, let's say you let him cheat in peace. Most women do that. There are a lot of women who, they know, yo, my man got somebody else, but they also know this dude is paying for all this. Let him go cheat in peace. Let him go ahead. Let him cheat in peace.
You know what's
Because
funny
if
is he
allows
was
you to cheat in peace,
that's
it'd be
the
cool.
thing. That's the irony of the situation. He wasn't even paying for anything. Everything was mine. But
also,
the thing that he was providing was free childcare and extra support with my kids, which if I would have kicked him out, I would have had to move a nanny in, so then I would have been paying like you know what I mean? That would have been extra money out my pockets for a nanny.
But that was your house?
Extra daycare, but everything was mine.
So he wasn't paying for anything?
Not necessarily. Like, he would help with like kid stuff and a little bill here and there, but everything was in my name. Everything was mine, which made no sense.
And he was still cheating?
Yes.
Oh,
yes,
shit.
yes. So
this nigga crazy.
Eventually, he was. And it's funny because now, like, now that, the ink is drawn on paper and things are different, it's all like, I'm sorry, let's make, and I'm like, no, now I'm burnt out. I don't want nothing to do with you no more. I'm good. I'm moving to DC now. I'm good. We're good. I got through the hardest part of my career. I'm good. I don't need you now. So I feel like sometimes you get in situations and relationships where even if it's not ideal, you stay because it helps you get to where you need to be. Some relationships can be building blocks for your life in general. So I definitely see that aspect of it. Cause like all my friends, everybody that know me that knew that situation was just like, bitch, he broke. You pay for everything. He driving your car. Like, why are you still married to him? And I'd be like, don't worry about it. It's all right. Like, and they come to the house and I'm like, it's cool. And they didn't realize, like, he married me as a single woman with 2 kids. You know what I mean? Like, if he leaves, I'm still a single mom with 2 kids. So let him have his fun. Let him watch my kids while I go on this deployment, but let him have his fun, whatever. And when I got my shit together and I was able to leave, I was like, all right, I'm moving. I ended up putting the house on the market. And I let him know I'm putting the house on the market, and I just left.
Let me ask you a question. When did you start feeling like, oh, well, did you feel from the jump, like, oh, well, if anything happens, like, I'll just leave?
No. Initially, I was like really in love, and things were equally yoked at first. So like, I lived at first when we first got together. I was actually living in his place, but I forgot what happened, but eventually time came along and I just wanted a bigger place and my credit was better. and he was going through whatever with child support. So I was like, okay, I'll just like, just to be safe, because, you know, one of his kids' moms was just real extra. Like, she got like 13 kids, and she was just doing the most with taking them to court for child support. So I didn't want none of my
Jeez.
tied up.
Wait, stop.
The 13 kids not his though. He only got one with her, but
What? Oh, okay.
it's just,
oh man.
but yeah, it was just a mess. Like, and
This
I don't
guy's
know
the
how to
serial baby mama lover or some shit.
No. He only has her first child is with him.
No, that's what I'm saying. But I'm saying like he loves women who just like the baby mama who has 13 kids. That's crazy.
13? Why such an odd number?
I'm exaggerating. It might not be 13. It's a lot though, because I know like before we got divorced, she had a set of twins. So she got quite a few, but I just didn't want my money tied up with them, and that BS. So I did everything in my own name or whatever.
I got something to say.
That's cool. Okay, I got it. I see what you did.
But I didn't want to, like, initially it wasn't like that, but like, to be honest with you, crazy situation. I was actually his side chick and never knew the whole time.
Wow.
Like,
that's crazy.
We were
you
together.
Side chick through the marriage too?
Wow.
Yeah. So so we were together for a year and a half before we got married. Again, like I told you, I was living with him, but I'm not a very clingy kind of person, and I'm not a naggy kind of person in a relationship. So like, he would go out, and I'd be like, all right, whatever, he out, cool. I never questioned.
Okay. Let me just give you a tip about that. When women are too nonchalant, we take that as in you don't care, and then we move differently.
No, but I cared, you know what I mean? But like, I just, because also understand he was a minister.
What?
So,
ooh, man of the court. Twist. Adultery. Wow.
So, understand, because of his stature and who he was, I wasn't, you know what I mean? Like, he'd be
Another
like,
Jamal Bryant.
I'm going to choir rehearsal tonight. I'd be like, okay, you going to choir rehearsal. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't like.
To help her with her vocal coaching.
Right. But no, for real, like, he would say stuff like that, or like, you know, we got choir rehearsal, and he played instruments sometimes too. So like, he did a lot in the church. So like, when he said he had to do something for the church, I look crazy, like trying to question it. I mean, sometimes I'd be like, that's weird, but I'd be like, okay. And then on top of that, you know, again, like, I'm in the military, so my career was demanding. So there'd be times where I'd be gone for like a week or two, you know, and then come back. So it wasn't until I went on deployment and I had my child, when my daughter was with him, and my best friend went to go pick up my daughter, because like, they were basically doing the co-parenting for me while I was out to sea. And she went to pick up my daughter for daycare at like 5 a.m. and caught him walking out my house with another woman. Oh, and I'm in the middle of the ocean, so obviously she can't reach me, and she's like freaking out. So like, she called, like, by the time I call home, like, check on everybody, she's like frantically crying, because she's like, I don't know what to say. I don't want to upset you while you're out there, because I know what it's like, but I went to go pick up Anya, and I caught him coming out with another woman, and he claims it's his cousin, but he doesn't really even have family like that, and we both know that, so I don't know. So I was like, okay, cool, say no more. Because the dumb part about it is I had a security system in the house. So you already knew. No, I didn't know, because I just wasn't that kind of person. Like, in my head, I'm thinking, no lie, guys, like, I supported this man through everything. Like, yeah, he was in a church and he had money, but so much of his money was just tied up into like business ventures and hoeing that I
using the tied money to hold.
That I literally just footed the bill for everything. So in my head, I just never thought that this man would be like out here doing all these things, because personally, if I had somebody taking care of me and, you know, I never have to blink an eye, everything's done. He's married to me at this point, so his healthcare is through me and everything. Like,
that's
the only thing.
His mama.
Yo, he's living good.
Yeah, his mama.
Yeah, everything.
I never like double checked him. So when she said this, when I pulled into my next port, I looked at the video cameras and I saw he had parties, like, and it was random. It was females in and out my house the whole time I was gone.
Random church parties.
No, ain't no church. There was drinking,
Bible
weed,
studies.
Smoking. Wasn't no Bibles involved.
Grey Goose
no condoms around.
Tuning instruments.
Mm-hmm. So I got home, and when I finally came home from deployment, I went through like my MacBook and stuff, and he had stayed logged in. So then I went through like all the emails and stuff, and that's when I found out he had this chick that lived in New York that was coming down every weekend. While like, and this is like from the beginning of our relationship. Like I found emails and BlackBerry Messenger stuff going all the way back to like the very beginning of our relationship, where she was coming in and out, you know, of Virginia to New York to see him.
Oh, that's some
And I'm
toll.
like, right. And I'm sitting here like, wait a damn minute. Like, so he was with her before me and him even met.
Wow.
And so I'm going through the messages and come to find out like he's in a long distance committed relationship with this woman, but he married me.
Plot twist.
Right.
Because here's the thing. You ready?
I got some thoughts. Go ahead, Carlens.
After a while. Okay, here's the question. Was he raised by his mom and dad?
Nope. He was raised by just his mom. His dad was a Rolling Stone.
Okay, so let me explain to what I explained to what Gabriel and I were talking about earlier. Many men that were raised by single mothers, they end up becoming monogamous. They end up having monogamous relationships with their mom. So let me explain what happened to me. So when my dad left, growing up, you know, my mom is, you know, me and my mom and my sister. And so I'm asking Mom, where you going? Mom, what you doing? Hey, where you going? You know, she's telling me I'm the man of the house, but I'm not the man of the house. You know what I'm saying? So at one point in time, it's like I'm doing things that men are supposed to do, but I'm not. At the same time, the things that we do to our women, we're supposed to practice those things with our moms. So the lying, the cheating, the stealing, all that stuff we practice with our mom. We're not supposed to really do that to our woman, but because when the woman treats us like that, then we'll do that because, you know, you could do that to your mom over and over and over again, and your mom will still love you. You could keep on stealing. Your mama beat you, but she still love you. It isn't until one point in time she gets sick and tired of you, like, you know, if I could leave you alone and leave me alone. But, you know, that boy or that man will end up noticing it. So a lot of women, a lot of men, I'm not saying all, but a lot of men, like, they'll end up where they don't know how to deal with other women. Like if a woman's taking care of them, it doesn't matter. If you're taking care of me, what do you do when your mom takes care of you? Your mom's taking care of all the bills. So what are you doing? You take whatever money you got, you going out, you chilling, you doing whatever. If somebody's taking care of me. So, you know what I'm saying? Like if we flip the role and men do what they're supposed to do and women, you know, moms allow, you know, their boys to grow up to actually be men, then you'll have that less of women coming talking about, oh, well, he ain't a man about it. Or no, boo-boo. It's the fact that he was in a relationship with his mom and he thought he was the man back then. But now when he gets older, he's, you know, when a woman acts up, he cheats and he lies or whatever. He's cheating and lying, but he's cheating and lying where, you know, if my mom did something, I'm going to my aunt's house. I'm going to my other aunt's house. I'm going to this other female who's older than me, who, you know what I'm saying, I know that who's going to talk to me like my mom would. Move older, men are doing the same thing. Oh, my woman ain't doing what she's supposed to be doing. I go somewhere else. She ain't doing what I want her to do. Fuck it. I'm going to go somewhere else. And the sad reality is that, you know, when a man actually grows up, he realizes the hurt that he does to a woman. So certain women, he won't do that to. Not all. But certain women, or the woman that he is attracting, he won't hurt her like a woman who's just, you know, just playing games. It's two different women. So for you, when Lala was acting like his mom, or when Lala was acting like a mom, and instead of acting like a wife, he took that. It was like, fuck it, she just treated me like, you know, like a wife, and she's taking care of me, she's doing all of this. I can now do all of that. I can now go ahead and do X, Y, and Z. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying, like, unfortunately, that's what happens. Can't hear you, Howard.
Hello? Howard.
Yeah, I see you. Oh.
Hello?
He's trying to say something.
I can't hear him.
Okay. Lala is I'm trying to mute her, but I don't
she's
know.
On mute.
She muted her mic?
Yeah,
okay.
because I think she's taking care of baby at the same time too.
Oh, okay, good. Because I thought it was me. I just wanted to be sure. But you know, I have I got I do have one thing to say. Now I was thinking of Kevin Hunter and Wendy Williams, right? Wendy Williams spent a good amount of years with this man. He's been known to cheat on her extensively, and the thing is
Why?
that
Look at her. Look at her.
Leave
Look
Wendy
at
alone,
her.
yo.
Stop. So again, look at her. Look at what she's doing. She's gonna go and she's gonna spend all this money and she's taking care of him. So
right,
even though you're taking care of me, you look like that. So now that I have the money that you gave me, I'm now gonna front like it's mine, and now I'm not gonna go and get all these women that I'm supposed to be going to get. Because look at Wendy. Look at her.
she didn't
He
always look like
settled and
that.
stayed there because money. He's that dude in, for Fall Out of Grace. That's him.
Oh, the new Tyler Perry movie. Yeah, that dude did a lot of
Yes.
damage. I never watched the
That would be
movie,
him.
but that dude did a lot of damage.
Which movie is it?
That would be him when it comes to taking the money and then
The
leaving.
new
Like,
Tyler
you
Perry
know,
movie
you
was on
didn't want her.
Netflix.
Falling Out of Grace.
Oh, okay, I haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah, me either, but I knew the wigs were horrible, and nobody's.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Terrible.
He wrote that
It was
script.
funny though.
He writes his scripts in 2 weeks. I don't know how he does it. He films it in like a week. Like,
Because he stays inside his house. He doesn't mess with nobody. He takes his sexual energy. Because here's another thing that I learned. I'm dead serious.
I think
He
needs
stays
to
inside the
stop.
house.
I think
He
needs
takes
to
his
stop.
sexual energy, and then he reverts it to then writing. Like
right,
what we do as men, sometimes like we don't realize how to take our sexual energy and transmute it into producing something.
right,
So instead, what we'll do is like we'll go and we'll try to have sex, or we'll go and we'll masturbate or something, and not realize like that same power we can use to transmute and to build something. That's why
right,
men who are about their business, like you're gonna see a post that I'm about to put up that says like every man should, be about his business, build his health, build his life before he even gets into a relationship.
right.
That way, then what you're doing is you're taking that sexual energy, pushing it somewhere else. Because if not, let me tell you, if not, what you're gonna be doing, you're gonna be going around, and when time is free and you're horny,
Right.
females hit you up because the energy is there. Your energy is there. So somebody's gonna hit you up out of the blue, and you're gonna be like, "All right, yo, what's good?" And next you know that you're sitting there, and now your time is now gone instead of producing something that's better. You know what I'm saying? So if you end up with a female who is gonna help you produce, sometimes she don't even want to do nothing with you. They're producing would be, hey, then like you want to get some stuff done, like you want to, but it's not going to be in some, like we just chilling. That's why it again, it depends on it. Sometimes it depends on the people, but in the
Right.
broad aspect, you have to know what men and women want. Like men, I'm telling you, man, we can't be going to relationships like, oh, we trust in all these women and what they say. Oh, I trust my mom and what she said. I trust my grandmama. Yeah, my mama, she was probably a little dot sometime then. Grandma too.
Exactly. And they're not
Probably
going
a
to
little
tell
dot
you.
back then.
They're not going to tell you. They're not going to tell
They're
you
not gonna tell you a
about
little dot back then.
that.
Instead,
You got some in church
women
right
are
now.
supposed to be held in this way. No, you little dot back then. You looked at that, you know what I'm saying? You were doing your thing, and then now you're looking, oh, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that. It's sad that white men, Chinese men, Spanish men, they can get the money, get the status, and then have all their options.
Right.
Or the women they want to. Let a man get successful, let a black man get successful. He can't have no options. He has to be one woman. No, it don't work that way.
Right.
Once a man gets successful, he's not the women that like him. He don't like them if their body is not fit, if their character is not in the right body.
You know what I realized, and I'm gonna try to put this analogy together the best way that I can. All right, being a musician, right? You have to have some type of appeal for people to want you. If you only have one type of listener, then you're not gonna draw that much. But if you're able to get leverage online, let's say streams, your music is through the roof, like you got millions and millions of listeners, you can at least get Universal or Sony or one of these other labels. They're gonna come at you now that you have your stuff finally polished. You're gonna have you're gonna have options, and you can choose from whatever you want. You could choose to be signed to a deal where you're gonna be in slavery for the rest of your life, or you can get a little bit of a distribution deal where you get your publishing. at the end of the day, one offers you fame and status, but the other one, the other option, you still do your music, but in the future, if you decide not to do music no more, you can still get your bread. You'll still have your publishing at the end of the day. Nobody can take that away from you. So what I say is that when you choose the certain type of woman that you want to be with, you could be with one that just gives you, you know, sex and money, or you could be with one that's actually willing to build with you. And instead of taking your money and spending it, she actually wants to help you expand with that money, and she's
So watch
willing to
this.
help you out.
You're right. So men want 3 things from a woman, right? And I didn't say these yet. I never said these yet. Men want 3 things from a woman. The first thing a man wants from a woman is clear skin.
Yes, sir.
Clear
Yes,
skin.
sir.
Clear skin. Clear the fuck skin. So if anybody wants to give me, wants me to give you examples, look at Rihanna with her line. Look at the Kardashians with their line. Every other commercial is about makeup. If not, look at every female on Instagram or on Facebook. They're doing tutorials. If not, females are online. Oh, look at my organic product that I'm using. Look at my face. If women's face have acne, what are they doing? They're literally covering it up. You don't see no celebrity, no man of stature outside with a woman with a face full of acne and just like, all right, we just cool, we just chilling. It don't work that way. No. So a lot of women are like, oh, well, a man's gonna like me for me. No, boo-boo. No, boo-boo. If your face is not clear, get with the program. Look at all these other females and what they're doing.
Right. Most
Number
females
2.
just sell a dream.
Yeah,
and that's the
but
problem.
they're in denial of themselves.
Right.
Because put it like this. Everybody has to look at themselves and say, am I really that attractive to somebody else? And if not, how do I become there? Because if I think that I'm attractive for me, then I'm attractive for me. I'm living in a fantasy world thinking that, oh, I can just have her, I want to just look at her, I want to look, and then somebody's just going to come and just grab me because they know my character, they know who I am. No, they don't. That we're all lying to ourselves. At one point in time, you need to prepare yourself to look a certain type of way so you can gravitate and get the person or what you like. But most of the time, we have denial. So that's why when it goes back to the superficial, if your female gets into a bad accident and the face that you love to look at every single day is now gone,
right?
Some men might be like, I can't be with you no more. Oh my God, but I thought you loved me no more. No, again, it goes back to survival. It goes back to that move. Number 2, you know what men like? Flat tummy.
Cool.
A flat ass waist. Now if you had a baby, different story. You go work out. You know what I'm saying? Men love handles too. But I'm just talking about like your titties are not your stomach is not bigger than your titties.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Your stomach is not bigger than your ass. You know what I'm saying? That is unattractive. That shit is nasty to us. It don't look nice. So when you look at most of the women now, what are they doing in the gym? Working out. What is everybody doing? Wearing waist trainers. 2 years ago, everybody's wearing saran wrap in church.
Right.
They're in church wearing saran wrap. Just sweating in church. Just sweating. Girl, what's wrong with your back? Oh, nothing. I'm just fine. Saran wrap, boo. Why? Because you want to look good for everybody. Girdles. Why do women wear girdles? Everybody wearing girdles. Why? Because again, the flat tummy. So number 3, the last thing, because the last thing is that a man wants from a woman is a man who can teach him something, or a woman who is coachable. And that coachable goes back to character. Because if you are coachable, or if you are a teacher, and I know that I don't have to combat with you. I don't have to fight with you about certain stuff. But women who, like, I have a friend who was raised by independent women. Grandma's independent, had 19 kids. Mom independent, I think I had like 4. She has 3. None of them have men. So when she said, oh man, when I had a conversation, she was like, man, I realized that I was raised by single women, talking about I'm independent, not realizing that I'm literally throwing that off to men, and it's unattractive to men. Men still have sex with you. Men still even have the baby with you. But men won't go that further with you because it's like, nah, that longevity thing ain't gonna work, boo. Like, you're gonna keep on arguing with me, like your character ain't there, like it don't work. So men, we see that. Men still have sex. Like, that's why a lot of women might have like 1 out of the 3, like the looks. You know what I'm saying? But then might not have the the body or the smarts.
Right.
Some females might have the body, nothing but a face, might have a body, might not have the cute face, but can teach him something. Some females can teach him something and don't look good at all. That woman who don't look good at all, but that can teach you something, she needs to know the world. She needs to know how to create something so that he can be like, yo, that woman, I have never seen anybody else can do that. I'll take her beyond the looks and stuff. But then he'll try to at least like mold her and say, hey, you know, would you want to work out? That's why most men are single, because the character is in the wrong body.
Right. Yo, and it's so crazy that you say that. There's a couple that I'm gonna mention. You probably know who they are already, but I don't know if you know Andre Ricketts and
Yep.
Let me tell you something. They are oh my God. If there's not a perfect example of a couple that has been able to cultivate and grow with each other and build a business, they're the example. I've never seen a couple like that in church. And I think Alter Inc. has been around since like 2014, 2015, but it's like they're really dedicated to this. These were people that worked in the corporate world. And after a while, like, yo, even when Dre got tired of doing this stuff, it's like, yo, Liz, she was like, all right, whatever you want to do, I'm with you. And
because
it's like,
she trusted him.
Exactly.
She knew that he was leading. She saw the accomplishments. Oh, you doing videos? Oh, you doing Bible studies? Oh, people know you in other places?
Right.
Oh, you know what? I need to know you. Let me know what I need to do in order now to keep this man, because other women in the church want him too.
Exactly.
So now when she sees what he's about, because mind you, it's not like he didn't go through other women before her.
Right.
The only reason why she stayed is because she now knew his plan. Oh, I want to do this. You know what? Fuck it. I'll rock with you. I'll learn whatever I need to learn.
Right.
I do whatever I need to do. That's what I'm talking about. She's an example of a woman who, when she sees a man who's leading, let me help you build and let me grow. They're going to stay together and they're going to build. The majority of women are assuming like, oh, well, he's just going to do this and I'm just going to sit here and just lay here. No, that's why men get tired of it and be like, nah, I'm out.
Right.
I'm out.
Let me tell you something. Almost every month, like, or every so often, like, yo, Malaysia, India, like, they're not only just doing business, but it's like, yo, they're traveling. How many couples say, like, yo, when I retire, I'm gonna travel the world? Why can't you travel the world now? Why you want to wait till you're like 50, 60 years old? Like, by that time, it's like, what's the point? You can do it now, but you have to have a leap of faith. Like, yo, if the person that you married or that you're dating, if you guys talk about these things and you build upon that and you're like, okay, this is the route that we're gonna go, things are gonna be fine. But if you decide all of a sudden out of the blue, you be like, yo, I'm gonna quit my job one day, give up all your benefits and all these different things. If you don't have a plan set up, most likely that person is not gonna want to rock with you. But you have to have a plan from the beginning. Once you have a plan, from there, it's like, okay, let's see where we can take this. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's like, literally, I'm always seeing something. They traveling here, they're traveling there. They're still doing videos. It's like, yo, they have to be one of the most hardest working people I've seen in church. But just as a couple, they make sure they not only make time for themselves, but their children as well. And their children are able to see that, okay, I have two parents that love each other, but at the same time, they're building. So that when I get into a relationship in the future, I will know the type of woman or man that I'm supposed to build with, you know?
Right.
If you don't have that example, sometimes it's kind of hard choosing a mate. You'll just end up with anybody. Like, you don't want to go with the first person that's like, oh, well, I'll pay your bills a little bit. I'll do this here for you. I'll do that there for you. But if they can't offer anything other than just money, if they can't offer, like, you know, to help you build financially and actually see you on top, there's no reason to be with them.
A lot of women, I'm telling you, they will not, because of the finances. They're gonna look at you like you're stupid. So that's why I'm telling all men now, get your shit straight first before you
Exactly.
decide to go and holler at a woman. Because with Andre was already set. And even with
Right.
his plan, he was still set in building that plan. A lot of women have timelines. So it depends on your timeline on what you're gonna go do. Was that some
Right.
incense? It depends on your timeline about what you're gonna go do. So it like, women have different timelines than men do. And men have to understand, like, our timelines are real slow. We look at the slow game. Women are like, yo, you should have been doing this last week. Bro, what are you talking about? Like, I just learned this yesterday.
Exactly.
Their expectations are way different than ours. So that's why when a man comes in already set, there's no expectation that she has. She can't say shit to you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? She can't say nothing to you because it's already set in stone. Like, here, come, now let's build. It's not like she can't say or do anything in the relationship. It's more like, oh, I'm already set. There's nothing that you can say to me as a man that I need to do. And when women feel that, they feel so secure. They're like, oh, I'm good with everything. Yeah, you good. You're gonna be good.
Right. And you know, my biggest problem sometimes is that, okay, I understand women have a timeline for men, but men should also, well, let me not say that. My biggest issue is the fact that, okay, sometimes a woman will see that a man is not progressing at a certain rate. They already know what they want. They want at least 2 children, and they'll pressure the man like, yo, let's have a child, let's have a baby. And there's some men that are like, nah, I'm not ready for that. And then there's some dudes after a while that'll be like, all right, fine, let's have a kid, knowing that they cannot financially provide for the woman or the child. And then after a certain point, she's like, yo, get your stuff together, get out, that's it, I'm done. And it's like, you wasted all that time. And then you look at the woman, it's like, yo, but why did you do that? You
It's
know?
because sometimes for women, it's dick. Put it like this. Women like a man who gives them their primal sense. That's why you hear a lot of women like, oh man, fuck them bad boys, yo. They be always getting the girls. I know what it is now. When you have your confidence on 1,000,
Right.
and you know that you are the shit, women love that. They gravitate to it. Oh my God, like, oh. And then when you see the nice guys, like, nah, man, like, how come? It's because it's not like, you know, women want bad guys. Just the fact that they just want to feel that primal sense of, they want to feel that like
secure,
that you know, that ravishing man's gonna take her away, even though he might not do anything. It's
right.
just that. That's why, like, when we're like, oh, that guy's so lame, and how come he's not adventurous? He don't do that, because that's what women want in return. They like that stuff. Now, do they want to be with the bad boy all the time? No, but they want a man who's assertive.
Right.
So we as men have to learn to be assertive and not aggressive with women.
Right.
So,
And
like, I had to learn the difference, because I always thought
Elaborate
women like aggressiveness. So aggressiveness would be like, go sit the fuck down. And I literally take you and I grab you. And I'm like, assertive might be, if we're in an argument, assertive might be, yo, you know what? Just sit the fuck down while I do this. And mind you, that sit the fuck down for her, literally, most women, pussy wet. Pussy wet. Not on some, sit down, but on some, yo, sit the fuck down right now.
Right.
Oh, okay. Oh. Because what you did is you're showing her that women play games, men don't. But we got to learn the games that women play. Women, like, when a woman is like arguing with you, she really wants to know, like, how much you care. So if you just be like, nah, just it's you win, it's on you, it's okay. That's a yes man. They don't like them.
Right.
They hate
like,
them.
Okay, well, honey, whatever you say, like, that's soft right there.
They resent you.
I've
been there. That was me. Where now? Oh, there's no yes anything. Oh, there's no yes anything. We have a conversation, but whatever Carlens, whatever I say, if it's no, to me it's no. And now women respect that. Like, woman was like, yo, Carlens, it don't matter what it is. If you say no, your no is no. And she was like, I love and respect that. I said, thank you. Remind you, with my ex, I'm like, yes, whatever you want. Yes, you want to go? Yes. Because I'm thinking that I need to please her, because when we first got together, I was her future pastor husband.
Right.
But mind you, even though I was in church to be a pastor, that wasn't my goal. That was just a means to an end for me.
Right.
But to her, that was like, you know, that's what I was going to be. So when the expectation failed, all that failed with it. So, you know, what can I do to, you know, what can I do? Nothing. Where now I realize how I come in, females will be like, oh, well, I can join your game. I can join what you're doing. All right, I'm down with it. I'm okay with it. But men have to get there. And a lot of black men are not there. And we're not there because we haven't been taught to be there. We haven't been taught to by real men to sit there and say, listen, this is what we need to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, men need to stop criticizing women about, oh, women want money. That's what, duh, it's protection. Stop complaining, go get the shit, and then I bet you right now there could be 100 females waiting for you. But we're not thinking that way because it's more like, well, I can't do anything. You're right. In certain cases, in certain situations, you can't. But right now during the corona,
Right.
oh my God, there's so many opportunities to do stuff. Creating
I'm telling you.
podcasts, creating merchandise. I do network marketing. Like, why the opportunity is here now. It's just the fact that now people are like, no, I'm just lazy. You know what I'm saying? I'm just home. You're going to see at the end who's who. And then you're going to see at the end who's going to be attracted to who. While some men are just sitting there like, I ain't got no money. I ain't got nothing. You know, while other men are sitting there banking. Yeah.
All right. And you
Say
see,
it again?
Go ahead, Jordane.
Oh, I was saying, yeah, you're right. This is a prime opportunity to do something to kind of set yourself up. Like, learn something, get a trade, do something. Like, with all this time that's being allotted to us, because then you're going to, like you said, at the end, you're going to be complaining like, oh, I ain't got no money. But you have all this time right now to kind of set yourself up to get those women. You know what I mean?
Right. Right now, everybody should be, like right now, for the next 2 weeks, the only thing you're going to see is posts, like video posts. Nobody's going to see, and I'm not going to post anything because I need to finish a book in the next 2 weeks. I know for a fact that when I finish that book is going to give me some type of money or residual money because that book is also connected to me speaking somewhere. Or me going out to speak, because obviously if the book is there, people want me to speak about the book. You know what I'm saying? Like, but a lot of people are not on that because they're too busy playing video games all day. You know, if you watch the TV, every day there's a new, you can watch the whole season of Wire now and the whole season of Game of Thrones now.
Waste of time.
So guess what? Everybody, like mine, I'm not gonna lie. Right now I'm watching Snowfall. Right? And the only reason why I'm stuck on Snowfall is because I want to learn how he hustles. So when people are looking like, why are you watching the show? I want to learn how he moves, how he hustles. I want to learn how he got to where he got to. Like certain cases, I'm looking at him like, yo, bro, you dumb to not go to a place with a gun strapped to your waist. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I see what's going on in the show and I take it. Where other people are just there for entertainment, like, all right, let me just binge watch this whole thing. Like, no, I can't binge watch Game of Thrones right now. That's freaking 20 days.
Don't waste your time.
Of TV just sitting there doing nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Don't waste your time, though.
Yeah.
But I mean,
but that's what I'm saying. You're gonna see. You're gonna notice the women who see the men doing stuff. Oh, Howard wants to say something.
Okay, hold on, unmute.
I have
Howard.
a question in the comments, so if I
Go
can
ahead.
throw out the 2 questions and then. So my first question is, why get married? If you know from day one you're in that relationship, you date with them, and you know how they roll and how they act and how their character is, why get married?
Can I answer this question?
Go ahead.
Let me answer this question. All right, so Howard.
You know, once you get married,
All right, so
I'm saying that be in that. Go ahead.
All right, so let me put it like this, right? The way this whole thing works, if you already know about their attitude and behaviors and all these different things, if you know they're no good for you, why would you marry them in the first place? There's no reason to marry them. If you've already figured out their characteristics, it's like, yo, there's no need in marriage. It's like you, as a man, you have to have yourself up. You have to have yourself set up to the point where, like, yo, you can actually have options. Women love a man not only that has money, but really a man that he's confident in himself. Once you have that confidence, you can go up to any woman and just be like, yo, so I'm really digging you, you know, can I take you out on a date? Things like that, you know, but you have to be confident. You know, you don't have to be cocky or forceful or any of these things. But you should never jump into marriage if you don't know exactly what you want.
True.
Because at the end of the day, if you're just in that marriage just because you want something of a trophy wife or you want to show people like, yo, yeah, that's wifey over there, that's dumb and stupid because that's a trophy. What is she doing for you than just cooking your food and giving you sex? I mean, is she helping you to build an empire? Or is she just nagging at you every day that she's stuck in the crib and there's nothing for her to do? You know, that's how I put it at the end of the day. But I'm
And
pretty sure. Go ahead.
and also, like when you on the line and the line to be married, that's the person asks, do you think these two couples should be married? Speak now, forever hold your peace.
Right.
So one person, when they know that if my sister brother, I know the relationship that they're in, and I see something wrong, they're gonna be married.
Yeah.
You got people that turn to in the crowd is like, shut up, don't say nothing, let it go through.
Right. Hold on. Let me interrupt for one moment. All right. So the video stopped recording, so we reached the maximum amount.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
On the video. But we have about 10 minutes left. So Howard, you go ahead and continue, and then Carlens, and then Jordane, and then after that we'll close up. But go ahead, Howard.
So my next question is, in that relationship and you realize that she has a child. Her baby father left the picture, and you notice that she have a child.
Right.
But she wants you to buy the Pampers, take care. So at that point, do you take that as a responsibility on your end, or you tell her the hell with it?
Well, you know what? I'm gonna let Carlens answer this question.
Okay, so personally, if it's me, I'm out. Because
wonderful answer.
But if I don't have a child, and you have a child, baby daddy already left, right? So that means that there's something wrong with you, that baby daddy left, unless there's really something wrong with him too. But now you want me to go take care of your child for you? No, boo-boo. I honestly believe that no man who does not have a child should deal with a female who has children.
Truth.
There's too many women in the world without kids.
I agree.
There's too many women in the world without kids, because here's what happens. When a female who has kids gets with a single guy, there's a whole bunch of baggage and shit she's putting on him that he knows nothing about. Like, she's putting all the shit that the guy did for him, that the guy did to him, you know, the baby father did. That's all now subconsciously coming on this guy. On top of him now taking care of kids he don't even know. Now the kids treating him some type of way.
And that's not fair.
That's headache. It's not fair. It's a heartache. It's a headache. Deuce. Don't even try it. But you see what
Not
happens
only
is
that, the dynamic is just unbalanced.
Unbalanced.
Yeah,
because
a lot of men,
I know, like, I've tried to date guys without kids, and like I actually had a guy like get like totally like get jealous of my kids, like, because I remember like one time I took my kids out to dinner, and I was like, I'll call you back, I'm out to dinner with the kids or whatever, and I totally forgot. Like by the time we got home, it was time for bed, and I just forgot. And the next day he was like, what happened? You never called me back. And I was like, oh, I just got sidetracked with the kids and I forgot. He like snapped on me and was like, it's always about those fucking kids. And I was like, well, damn, what am I supposed to be, a deadbeat mom? Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So you should have left
from that experience on, I never dated a man without kids because, they just don't get it. And I don't, I respect that of you, and I don't expect you to.
I wouldn't say that they don't get it. I just feel like they want a place, they want to feel like important. They want to like feel like, all right, I have some sort of value when there's something already there. Because at the end of the day, you're going to always have your kids, regardless of whether you're in a relationship or not. Your kids are like a permanent thing in your life. You know what I'm saying? And some men have a hard time understanding that when they come in and date somebody with kids. So like, okay, you already got your responsibilities. You're a mom, like, 24/8. I need my time. I need my attention. I need, I need some sort of like, all right, me time. You can't be forgetting about me. So then it's like, all right, I'm second place here. I'm supposed to be the man. You're supposed to love me, show me affection, care about me. And I'm not getting that because your kids. Not saying anything against your kids. It's just hard for a man coming into that kind of situation to accept and say like, all right, I'm good with the fact that her kids are going to take priority over me most times.
You know why too? It's unfortunate because a lot of women are taught take care of your kids. And so women are taught to take care of their kids, but you don't hear mom saying, well, take care of your man too. So what happens is that you're sitting at the kitchen table, and what they'll do is they'll put like for instance, if you ask certain people like, you know, who
Do
wants
not
to
start that argument.
about the plate, right? About the
Yes.
plates, right? So you'll hear people have the argument. Now here's just reality. Here's how you said it. This is why Jordane can say what he says. When a man gets the first plate, he feels like he is valued as the person who is first. When you feed your kids first, to him it's like, well, you ain't, like, you just secondary, because mind you, I still got to protect those kids. You have to look at it in animalistic sense. When the female lion gets the meal, who eats first? The lion. Why? Because the lion has to protect the pride. The lion has to make sure that there's no intruders, and he has to have all the energy for that. So she knows her job and what to do. But we, in a sense, it's like, nope. So a lot of men feel less of. Women will, like, that's why a lot of marriages are the way that they are now, is because women don't know. Women spend more time with their kids instead of spending time with their husbands. And then the husband will stay there and be like, "Yeah, baby, I love you." And he's trying to stay in this relationship, trying to work it out. But the whole time she's showing him, I don't really care for you because I really have this relationship with these kids.
And we're not
Blame
saying
it on the
neglect your
white
kids
feminist
now.
agenda.
We're not saying neglect your kids.
Pretty much. Thank you for at least a black woman who understands that shit. Because goddamn, that shit is annoying. When people be like a lot of women don't understand. A lot of black women don't understand. You followed a white woman's movement. That ain't got nothing to do with us. That's
We
white men
followed
having
it and we
problems with
handled
white
it for
women.
them while they still got to keep their husbands and live rich, wealthy lives.
Next thing you know, white women are telling y'all, watch this. White women are telling y'all to not love your husbands, right? So white women are still marrying white men. And then on top of that, white women are taking black men.
Right. And we still out
And then
here
women
single
are mad.
moms, angry at a black man for no fucking reason because we listen to a white woman. Yep.
Right. You see? And then what happens is that, like, here's another thing before we go off, so that people can have it in their head. A lot of black women, when they feel like they've done with black men or they can't find enough, and then they go and they want to be with a white man or a Spanish or whatever, and they try to come back later to try to deal with a black man, and he knows that, he feels mortified, like horrified, like, oh my God, like, I'm the last choice. I'm last. You know what I'm saying? And at times, like, at times, sometimes we have to realize, like, that's mortifying to us. So just like how, you know, it, like women will be like, oh, well, you went with a white woman. A lot of men don't go with white women, for the simple fact that we know that if we do go with one, when we get with a black woman, that's all we're gonna hear. Oh, well, she was with a white woman one time, and blah, blah, blah. So it goes hand in hand with shit like that.
You know what's funny? The crazy thing about it is, right, there's some black women who will be like, oh, you know, they'll be like, John just knows how to treat me better than Marquise. But did you speak to Marquise? Did you tell him what was going on? Because guaranteed, John is not going to like the same stuff that Marquise had to put up with. And when John puts you in your place, what you going to do? You going to bark on him now? Then it's not only going to be black men that's a problem, then it's going to be white men. And even if you get with a man that's Asian or Hispanic, it's like, yo, at the end of the day, it's like, you got to love your men. You can't berate them. You can't curse them out, or, you know, or
It's because a
talk to
lot of
them or
women
treat them
haven't
like a
dealt with
child.
men. A lot of women are dealing with boys trapped in men's bodies, and they haven't
Preach on
encountered real men. And when they do, they don't know what to do, because a man will not let a woman talk over him. A man will not let certain women do certain things, and they'd be like, "Well, I'm used to that." Well, sorry, boo boo, you cut off.
Mm.
And once that cut off, then women be like, "Oh, okay," because she's never had somebody kind of like challenge her like that. So when it
Right.
does, that's when the woman's like, "Okay, this is a real man," because he knows that she's not doing it like for games or for pokes, but she's doing it like, I just want to make sure that you're going to protect me and you that guy. Like, I can't just run over you, because if I can run over you, who else can run over you? You know what I'm saying? So we just have to be careful in essence. Go ahead, Howard. You want to say something?
Let me unmute. Okay. Go ahead, Howard. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
like I said, what all of them said on green certain parts, but like all I'm saying is that as just men and females, all we gotta do is just stick together, pray. Prayer is the key of all things. I know when we pray, it comes to reality. If we're in the relationship and we know it's not right, get some counseling. We can work on it. There's resources out there where people can help us to realize if we're in it for money or for love, just gotta come to reality. Right now, what's going on with this corona thing? I hear some people, husband, or I know one case where they said the husband and the kids in the basement, the wife is sick with the corona, but she's on the third floor. So like, we gotta understand, realize that the prayer is the key. So from we have the prayer is the key, everything's gonna be right, and we gotta come to that agreement that, listen, like I said, it's 50-50. If I have a problem, I'm gonna tell you my problem. If we have a problem, let us work together. Don't let us keep it, curse each other every day. Wake up. Oh, I want a kiss. I want a hug. Come on. Reality. Enough. And also go for the young ones too, because the young ones, some of the young ones like older women, some of the women like younger men.
Right.
So we gotta realize that this the time is winding down where we can't love no more. So we gotta just prepare ourselves for the time to come. That's my comment.
Okay. Let me just say one thing, and then I'm gonna let Carlens, Jordane, and Lala go, and then that'll be it. All right. So I heard you talk about prayer, and prayer is good, but you have to understand this day and age, even with some of us being Christians, you know what I mean? We can't always rely on that church mentality, because sometimes these are the type of things that you won't hear discussions about in church. You have to be able to handle things at home. The other thing is you can't always look at couples that are inside church, because 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna just mute you for a minute. 9 times out of 10, right? These couples, they don't have it together. And earlier when I was talking with Carlins, everything in church is about an image. Whatever you see on Instagram, whatever you see on Facebook. And lo and behold, you know, a couple of years later down the line, you find out that this sister was being beaten by her husband, or she was going through issues. And some church folks probably told like, yo, just pray about it, that he gets better. He's not going to get better. The thing is that we have to come with this mentality that we have to work on ourselves outside of the church. It's not just the church thing. It's not just this prayer thing. Prayer is good, but we have to do more than that. And that's what we're dealing with right now. You have a lot of people that are young, that are getting married at 21, 22, 23. They're in the church. They're trying to make sure they got everything together, but they barely have a cent to their name, haven't finished up school. And it's like, what foundation is there to build upon? And it's so easy in those early stages to want to go and cheat when your spouse is not talking to you the right way, or when they're not giving you the goods. You know what I'm saying? It's easy for you to be like, yo, let me just jump over here and do my own thing and be like, whatever. So we have to be very vigilant and careful, because it's easy to get caught up in the trap. It's very easy. But I'm gonna let Carlens go, then Jordane, and then Lala.
When it goes to what you said too, like when it goes to just church, there's a lot of, and I hope that we have another discussion about church by itself, like what we don't talk about in church.
Yes.
Because the sad reality is that the church limits you and only tells you but so much.
Right.
So the church will sell you marriage, but doesn't teach you the foundation to keep it.
Right.
The church doesn't sell divorce, but the church will do divorces.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's okay to pray, but I think the first thing people need to do is be 100 of yourself. Not 50, be 100 of yourself, because when you know what you want, nobody else can play games with you. You're not going to approach somebody who you don't want. Nobody can approach you who doesn't want you. You have to be willing to upgrade yourself and look at yourself and say, okay, if this is all done before a relationship happens, because most of us, sometimes we're talking about like either we're in a relationship or things that happen within. Do the work beforehand. What happens before? Upgrade yourself. Be who you are first, and know what the other sex wants, so that then as you build yourself up, you see, oh, okay, this is what they really want, and you move forward from there. So that we're not always, oh, it's just pray or go to counseling, because counseling don't mean shit.
Right.
It don't mean nothing to some people. It don't mean jack nothing. To some people, they know, okay, I'm just gonna keep on doing this. It doesn't mean anything, but it's because of comfortability. People are too comfortable. I'm scared if I have to go. I'm scared if we break up. I'm scared. That was me one time. I'm scared. I just had to go. If I didn't go, it'd be worse. So some people just have to not be scared. First, stop being scared of yourself and love yourself, and watch how you won't be scared of anybody else. And so when people are coming to you, a lot of men will be off on some like, yo, I know what you about, move. And a lot of females, they won't have to question guys because the guy would already have what he got. The question is now, are the women available or making themselves available for the guy that they want?
Right.
That's it.
Jordane?
Pretty much touched on the same thing I was kind of going for.
Lala, you have anything to say? Because we're about to wrap up.
Nah, he covered it for me too, because that's exactly what I was gonna say. You know, work on self.
Okay.
That part is we just work on stuff too late. Still too late. This was great, guys. We should do it again.
Yes, I just want to thank everybody for coming together. Carlens, Howard, Lala, Jordane. You know what I'm saying? This has been definitely a good thing, and hopefully we can have it again. The next subject that we're going to touch on is church.
What about church, though?
I got you.
What about church? Because remember, we talk about a lot with church.
What about it?
Is it in church? Is it?
We gonna figure it out, Carlens. We gonna divide.
We talked about a lot. Because listen, if y'all want to talk about church, boy,
we're gonna
get mad at me.
We're gonna need a longer
session. People gonna get mad at me. We gonna need to pay that $14.95.
Oh yeah.
Like dead serious. Like it gonna get there because mind you, once you get into Bible talk, you see how I broke it down for you earlier, right?
Right.
I did that one time on a live. People got mad at me. I'll do it again. I'll do it tonight. No, Carlos. I have a lot of unfollowers. Yeah, but that should be the next conversation. So then what everybody does, we got to take this conversation and just share it on Facebook and stuff.
Yeah, I just got to figure out how to export everything, and so you should be good from there. But once
you figure it out, just do it.
Yeah, most definitely. I got you. But once again, I want to thank everybody for coming in, you know, and having a conversation. You all have a good night, and hopefully we can meet up again next time and have another discussion.
Good night, y'all.
Night.
Night.